Hello, 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 Wendy. We'll begin in a second. So, welcome everyone. Okay, so today our special guest, I always try to bring a special guest from the Pokemon world. Today it's Mimikyu. So, say hello and bye bye to this one. Of course, I always run out of time, but let's begin. So, welcome to today's live stream. Today we'll take a closer look at my Tokyopop shelf, although I'll give you a quick glimpse. It's a little bit shaky. 1 second. So this is my, why it's so choppy. This is Tokyopop shelf when it comes to my BLs, and there's some more in other places because I'm running out of space in here. So as you can see, it's full. So I have to manage somehow. But today we'll focus on this shelf. Still many titles to go through. There are some titles which I really enjoyed and will put a little more focus on them. Maybe you will be interested in them too. But before that, let's continue with the tradition of recommendation of the day. So I'm pasting in chat, so it's always there and you can find it. So today's recommendation is a well-known love affair. In this BL, I think it's Korean one, so it's falling into manhwa category. We have standard setup of top and bottom. In this case, I will show you. So this is the top guy with the black hair, and then we have a bottom one which has orange hair. It's in terms of the story, it's nothing crazy. It's a sweet, bittersweet relation between those two guys. They are childhood friends. They went to the same school. The top one, which is Woo Myung-seong, so sorry for butchering the names, but he's the one with the black hairs, is like an heir to very influential businessman. They build hotels and manage them, so there are high expectations from him since childhood, and his father was using him as some kind of he was showing off his son, and also he was using him in some not so great situations to win a favor or contracts. So a little bit sensitive topic, so he's a little bit traumatized, although keep it inside him. I know this about you. Welcome back, welcome again. Yeah, so I was thinking heavily which one I should recommend today, and this one came to my mind. So yeah, so going back to the story, so he tries to be this perfect son on a business level and outside, but inside he's struggling and he's thinking like why he is even living, what this is all for. And then at some point he meets the other guy, which is Yensu, the bottom one, orange, the guy with the orange hairs. He actually delivers chicken from his aunt restaurant. Okay, we have some more comments. Okay, it's fine. Some comments are being translated on my computer to my native language and I get lost what's going on. But anyway, welcome everyone. So yeah, so he meets him at some point. The bottom guy is very goofy, very silly, a little bit chilled-like, so not very mature. And the theme about the bottom guy, he was always confessing his love. He was very easily falling in love, and trying to date girls, but all of them rejected him. So he never dated with anyone. And because of different circumstances, our top guy is starting to get interested in our bottom guy. He is relaxed around him. He can be himself. And it's a slow burner in that sense. And it's 18 plus, although I would say for the most part, there are like 60 chapters out. And for the most part, nothing major happened. So they are reaching this point, but until now it was very soft. Hello, host. Hello. Yeah, so that's when it comes to recommendation of the day. And now moving on to our Tokyopop shelf. So Tokyopop, a little background around Tokyopop. It's one of the major players when it comes to BLs. It's quite old publishing company. And as you can see, before everything was published around Tokyopop main company, and this is the logo. And at some point, and you will also notice this as we go further, they switched to this sub-brand called Love X Love, and it focuses on LGBT content. So in there you have Yuri, you have Yaoi, and other titles like this. So that's when it comes to, and also they have other type of mangas, not only LGBT ones, they have also let's say straight ones or fantasy ones which don't focus on romance at all. So it's a quite big publishing company. Yeah, so that's when it comes to the background. Moving on to what we have on the shelf. So we have Acid Town. There are 6 volumes released. We talked about this one in Major Disappointments, so I won't spend too much time on this one. I was reading it, I dropped it at some point. The plot is around mafia, some children which get, tangled in this world and try to survive. Basically, the top guy is the son of mafioso, and the bottom one is in here. You can see him, blonde haired, I would say. He has a brother at hospital. He's sick and he's trying to support him. So as you can imagine, he's doing different type of jobs trying to survive. So Wendy Estrada, I don't speak unfortunately Spanish. I think it's Spanish, but maybe my computer will translate what's going on. But if you have a question and you have to try in English, then I will be able to answer. Yeah, so this is like the first volume, and they stopped printing more volumes when it comes to Acid Town. So this is the second volume. Then we have a third volume. I dropped it at some point, so it's up to you. So as you can see, they are growing up as the story goes. But if you want to collect a whole series in print, then this is not the one to go because they dropped it at some point. Beautiful cover, I really like this one. And then let's move to the 6th volume. It's unfortunately angle is not the best because they have covers from that side. So we are tackling this from a different angle at the moment, but as we go, it will get better. Okay, then the next title on my shelf is Platinum Blood. I read this one. It's a one-shot, so there's only one volume, 18 plus, and as you can see already, we have this daughter company, Love and Love. So it was a transition at some point. So the story is between priest and vampire. So the other guy is a vampire. He's a good vampire. And there's this interesting dynamic between, let's say, holy person versus yeah, vampire, because we know those two go in contradiction. Marina, amazing, thank you. So let me give you a quick look what's inside, how the art style look like. I enjoyed this story, but yeah, it's been a while since I read it. So as you can see, the vampire guy is in love with the priest and he's trying to win his heart. Priest gives him blood so he can sustain himself. And we have some tent in here, if you know what I mean. And maybe a little bit from the description. So the vampire Alucard, nicknamed Al, was brought up in a church at the side of the kindly priest Kaname. Now all grown up and drop dead handsome. AI has certain needs. AI. The dutiful Kaname generously allows the vampire to drink of his blood, and it isn't just his blood that I's sucking. Still, physical needs aren't the same as emotional desires, and I finds himself stuck trying to get the oblivious, straight-laced Kaname to realize that he means more than an easy meal to him. So there will be also a situation where another vampire comes in and he'll try to save him. Okay, moving on. Now we move on to the one I really, really, really like, which is this one, and also in the sneak peek, you could see it. It's the flower that seems to truly dance. Oh, I really like this one. I really like the art style. It's very beautiful. It's in... setup is in Japan, post-war Japan or during war, because it's like there's a war happening at the moment. Our main character, so this is the blonde guy, it's the bottom guy, he is a dancer. So in Japanese theater, male dancers wears a makeup and present as females. There's a special name for that. We'll go through that in the description. But he's a male dancer. He comes from the house who trained girls and boys to do this. And obviously he was doing some spectacles. The other guy, the top one, which is main lead, was his childhood friend. His family worked in construction, so they are like engineers, and because of their skill sets, they were involved heavily in war effort. Yes, I forgot the name, Kabuki, something like that. Yeah, I think that's the case. And when we go to the description, so no one can know about these feelings. So there was a fall-off between those two because the main lead was admiring main character because of his dancing. He was really into him. He gave him a hairpin, so this is like a pin which you put in your hairs. But because of conflict, which you will find out in the manga, you know, there's a rift between them, and they, he has to go to the front, I think, or somewhere. He has to go somewhere else, and they lose touch for some time. Yeah, and this is more or less where the story starts, when the main lead comes back and pretends to be someone else and start working at the place where the main character is dancing. And at some point he finds the truth. So moving to the description is in 1940, so it's the Second World War. So I didn't want to say which war it was because I wasn't sure, but it's a Second World War. So Satoru Kumamoto returns to Japan after years abroad, so he went most likely to study there. With something on his mind, his closest childhood friend was a boy named Haruomi Asuma, who was famous for his traditional dance in women's sotaru clothing. Satoru loved watching Haruomi dance, but after a fight one day, Satoru told Haruomi, "I hate the way you dance." The two of them grew apart, and it has haunted him ever since. Satoru is Sautaro is determined to finally apologize to Haruomi with the threat of war looming over Japan. Will the reunion finally bring Satoru's peace, or will it force him to confront his long repressed feelings? So I really enjoyed this one. So let me give you a quick sneak peek, because art is superb. It's really to my liking. I really enjoy it. There are some nice sceneries, as you can see. So this is when they were children. And this is the harpin I talked about, which he gave him as a gift, and he cherished it forever. Yeah, and this is like where the story starts. So he's coming back to Japan. I won't spoil too much because I want all of you to experience this from start to finish. And it's quite emotional. I was moved by the story. So it's not cliche, it's well written, it's something that could be real. So body proportions and other things like that are correct. It's 16 plus. So there are some intimate scenes, but they are not super visible. So it's 16 plus. So that's a huge recommendation. And this author, there's a second story which we have from Tokyopop, and this is this one, I think. It's the same, yes. Sasaki Tsukahara, and this is the same author for both of those. And in that case, this one was released first. It's called Replay. I think it's about baseball, if I remember correctly. Again, it was a very long time ago, but this one was released first, and I was like, oh, I really want this one to be in print, the flower that seems to truly dance. And at some point it was released in print, so that's nice. And regarding Replay, so a little sneak peek inside. Again, if you have any questions or you want to dive deeper in any of the titles, please leave a comment. Yes, it's about baseball, so they are classmates, they play baseball. So it's a school romance dynamic in that case. So art style is something similar to what we saw before. Not many impressive background images, so it's mostly focused on characters, while that was not the case for the previous one. And if you are into baseball players and that's something that, you know, makes you click, then this theme is in here. So that's something you will enjoy. Yeah, so very quickly the description. So Yuta and Ritsu have been playing baseball together since they were children, but after being defeated in local tournament over the summer, they must retire from the high school team to study for university entrance exams. Still, Yuta finds himself unable to give up his lingering attachment to baseball. The one person who can truly understand him is Ritsu, who has been acting worryingly distant since they quit the team. But there's something Yuta himself doesn't understand. Does he think of Ritsu as his partner in the way that a teammate would, or is the affection between them something stronger? So that's the one. So let's move forward because we have many titles to go through today. And let me move camera a little bit. So let's change the angle. Okay, the next one. The next one is Welcome Back, Aola. by Takatsu. I did not read this one. So two boys growing up side by side, their stars drift apart and come together again. So again, falling out, falling in story. Outgoing and popular Kazu and shy and serious Moto grew up together as childhood best friends, but something changes during junior high. And the familiar, easy rhythm of their friendship begins to break apart as Kazu starts nursing deeper feelings for his oblivious friend. Let's see what's inside, like how the art style look like. So I cannot tell anything about this one because I did not read it. It's 13 plus, so very soft one. So we have a wider spectrum of titles in here. So I guess the story is about coming to terms with your own feelings, trying to navigate this throughout your school days, because everyone, you know, have some kind of crush on someone else. I don't see any impressive background images, so very simple. Yeah, and then they are a little bit older when you see this. Okay, so that's it for this one. I think it's also one shot. And moving on to the next one, which is Tomorrow Make Me Yours. I think I read this one, but let's see what's... it's 18 plus. Let me take a quick look what's inside there. Okay, another like high school setup or school setup, however you would like to call it. So this is what we have inside. So the main character in this case is a bottom, and he's very cute, a little bit smaller, charming, and then we have a prince-like main lead. So quite standard dynamic when it comes to this. And going with the description, it's timid and shy Yuki is dreading the start of a new semester surrounded by unfamiliar faces. Sitting on the sidelines, he watches as the other students cluster around Hayato, so our main lead, the most popular boy in class, and his total opposite in every way. But when a chance conversation with Hayato draws Yuki out of his shell, he finds himself slowly opening up to the other boys' relentlessly cheerful and kind attentions. It's written in a very strange way, but anyway. As their friendship grows, so too do Yuki's feelings for Hayato. But can he really dream about a relationship with someone so far out of his league? What is behind Hayato's fondness and insistence on spending time with Yuki? Oh, really, what could be there? What if that's the first meeting of theirs wasn't entirely by chance after all? So that's this one. Moving on to the next one. Actually, it's The Snake Who Loved a Sparrow. I made a short giving an overview of this one. So if you are curious, go watch it. I like this one and read this one. It's very quickly, it's about a world where animals can shapeshift into humans. I sound a little bit like my real, but because of that, some species are in a predator-prey relationship, and in that case, snakes hunt for birds. So there's this prejudice that, you know, when they meet for the first time, that the snake will eat him, and he's afraid. But as they move on, they work this out. It's an 18 plus. There are some interesting, how to say it, physical aspects to them because of their traits coming from animal form. So that's something, if this is something what you enjoy, then you can find that. I will give you some overview of what's inside. The art is really good. Background images are also interesting because it's not like very simple classroom situation or very simple panels, but in here we have forest, some mountains and other images of nature, which are more challenging to draw. Something, what else could I show you? And we won't risk a ban from YouTube because we cannot show too much in here. So this was like a situation where the snake tries to eat the bird. So I would recommend this one. I really liked it, and I would recommend it for you to read. Then we have Scramblers. I did not read it. I like the cover. I still have to read it. It's 13 plus. And let's go to the description. So Haruo Kurosaki once heard a stranger's song in his high school that made him decide to follow his passions. Now he is a graphic designer working on a CD jacket for the prodigy musical artist Eddie Astley. On the outside, Eddie is intimidating and aloof, but when Haru spots him at the rock concert, he realizes how wrong that assumption is. As he sees beyond Eddie's surly exterior, Haru begins to think about the emotions Eddie tries to convey through his music. And while getting to know Eddie for his design project, he discovers that music has a way of transporting you to a vital moment from the past. So this is how the story goes and the introduction to the story. Let's see if they have any impressive first page. Not so, oh, 1 second, I need to sneeze. Okay, I stopped it. Anyway, let's continue. Hi, I'm new here. What are we talking about? So we are talking about Tokyopop BLs, which are in my library. So I'm going through all of the titles I possess on my shelf on this one, and we go one by one with a quick overview for most of them, and some of them which I really enjoyed or you want to take dive deeper into. Yeah, so we review them so you know what's in my library. It's a series where I go through all of my shelves, so this is the first one actually. And they are all boys' love, so gay, LGBT case in that sense. So if you are not into that, then you can leave. Or you can stay if you want to find out more. So I did not read this one. Sample of how the art look like. And moving on to the next one, which is the first one from Omegaverse when it comes to Tokyopop. So a complicated Omega's second love. So in here we have a situation. I use too much of a situation, but we have a case where Omega was marked by Alpha, and I don't know if I should tell you that because that will be a big spoiler. I think in this case, I read this one, it was a long time ago. I think, so close your ears if you don't want to know. The Omega mate died. So that's why he's marked and he's mourning, but then the second alpha comes into his life. I'm not sure if they had some kind of relation when before, but let's read the description. So Sakura is handsome and has always worked hard to be the best at everything he does. Sports, schoolwork, and now at his office job. So the setup is in the office, so they meet in the office, and that's how it starts. The only issue is that no one knows he's an Omega, and that's most likely the case because they cannot smell his pheromones since he was marked. In a world where alphas are admired and Omegas are judged harshly, Tatsuku just wants to live as an alpha like his perfect co-worker Narushige, but things get a little complicated when Tatsuku wakes up one day in bed mated with Narushige. Okay, so this is a little different story, very similar one. But I think there is a backstory about his other, because it's a second love, so there has to be a story. Maybe they were not mated. Or this mark faded away after the death, because that's a common theme with Omegaverse, that the only way to get out of the bond is when one of them pass away. But that's not always the possibility. So it's a cliche story. It's nothing crazy. It's a fun story. Nothing too ambitious. But if you like Omegaverse and you have too much free time, you will enjoy the story. It's an 18+ one. First page is not for wider audience. Art style is nice. I mean, in terms how they look like, I would say the physique is good. So this is something what I would enjoy when it comes to design of characters. So a sneak peek into the content. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. It helps a lot. Okay, so that's enough from overview for this one. I would say it's okay. You can go for it. There are worse titles on the shelf. There are better for sure. At the beginning we talked about really great one. So it's a semi-recommendation from my side. There are things I can't tell you. I think I read this one, but I have no memory at all about this. It's an 18+. It's also quite old title. So when it comes to this Omegaverse one, it's also one of the first Tokyopop titles when it comes to Omegaverse. And funny thing, I think I mixed... No, I did not mix this one, because I thought maybe I mixed this Omegaverse with the other one on Yen Press shelf, which is above this one, and 7 Seas Entertainment is below that one. And the Sublime is at the top, so I will have to use a ladder. And actually I have the biggest collection, the biggest amount of mangas are from Sublime, I think, because I think they are the oldest one when it comes to that. Moving on to the description. So Kazumi and Kyosuke are popular opposites when it comes to personality. Kazumi is reserved, soft-spoken and shy. Kyosuke is energetic and has always been popular among their peers. As the saying goes, I don't know how to pronounce this one. Opposites have a tendency to attract, and these two have been fast friends since elementary school. That's an interesting way of saying that. Fast friends. Okay. To Kazumi, Kyosuke has always been a hero to look up to, someone who supports him and saves him from the bullies. But now school is over, their relationship suddenly becomes a lot less simple to describe. Facing the world and one another as adults, both men find there are things they struggle to say out loud, even to each other. Okay, so it looks familiar. Maybe when we will. Okay, yeah, I think I read it. I think I read it because they are living together, from what I can see. Yeah, so I guess this one is again driven by a story. I cannot tell too much about this. Yeah, so that's it for this one. Then moving to the next one, which I read, I'm sure of it, and I liked it. This Wonderful Season with You. Again, high school setup, or maybe not a high school, but school setup. Body size difference when it comes to main character, it's the bottom guy, and main lead, who is the top. I think he's baseball player in this setup, and it's an 18 plus. There are also other titles by this author, nice one. Yeah, but it's a little bit shota, how you call it. I mean, the bottom guy, he has very small build. So if that's something that triggers you, you can avoid this title. So All New Boys Love by the creator of the Koboko Sugar Days. We'll get there. It's on the right, and that one it's one of the strong recommendations. We'll get there, but yeah. So they are the same from the same author. So Enoki is practically the poster boy for what a typical nerd looks like: short and slight, complete with big round glasses and social awkwardness. His main hobby is making video games, and he's used to not having many friends at school. Then he meets Shirataki, a former member of the baseball club, so I remember correctly, and his exact opposite: tall, muscular, and sporty. Oh wow, what a surprise. The top is tall, muscular, and bulky. Despite their many differences, the spark of friendship between the two boys begins to grow into something more. So going in, it's quite like the intimate parts are happening more closer to the end. So very cute art style. Going into this sweet vibes, overly sugar coated vibes. So this is how the story starts. I think he's trying to recruit the main lead. Main character is trying to recruit main lead to a club, because if they don't have more members, they will close the club. Yeah. So this is what this is about. Yeah, and that's it for the next one, because yeah, we have to push through. I don't know if maybe we'll split this live into another one, because we are already 40 minutes in and we are not even through the half of the titles. Maybe I need to speed up a little bit. Chris, hello. I only speak English, so if you have any questions, please try to write in English. But welcome. Yeah, and let's move on. So The Cat Proposed. I read this one very long time ago. Big recommendation. I really like this one. It's a little bit of age gap case. What's the name of the manga that just aired? So this one is The Wonderful Season with You. This Wonderful Season with You. So this is the title of the one you saw. And this live is recorded, so you can always come back to it if you are curious. I'm using a translator alone. So again, you can see This Wonderful Season with You. It's written by Atsuko Yusen. Until now, whenever I checked if YouTube interpret my English properly, it was always on spot, like in 99%, so it should be fine. It should catch the title. Okay, so the cat proposed, going back to that, it's a yokai situation, so spirits, he can transform into a cat. It's a funny story. I don't remember exactly what was happening deeper, but I have a positive impression of this one. I remember this one from that side. It's a 16 plus. Matoi Sota is an overworked salaryman tired of his life. On his way home from a long day of work, one day he decides to watch a traditional Japanese play. But something strange happens. He could have sworn one of the actors had cat ears. So the main character sees the traits. They can shapeshift. They work in theater, and he notices, the spirit form. It turns out that the man is actually a bakeneko. Bakeneko. Neko is a cat. Bakeneko. I think it's a monster. So bakeneko, a shape-shifting cat from Japanese folklore, and then bakemono is a monster. Maybe it's some kind of hybrid of those two words. No problem, welcome. If you have another question, please say so. A shape-shifting cat from Japanese folklore, and then the cat speaks, starting today, you will be my mate. Okay, so this is how, and then I think there's a world where those shape-shifting entities exist, and he takes him there for some time. So art style is really good. There are some nice background images from what I can remember. Again, we have a case where one of characters is thinking about, passing on to another plane. As you can see, he is standing in front of the train. So that's a quite common theme, but I think it's connected to Japanese work culture and how it really looks like for people in there. So that's why they use this theme a lot. So I would recommend this one. I really liked it. Oh, and this is how he looks like when it comes to cat form. Yeah, so this is where he takes him to his family. How cute is the one with the cat ears? He's an old man. And this is the family meeting because he introduced his bride, his mate, so not a bride. So big recommendation from me when it comes to this title. Moving on, then we have Yagi the Bookstore Goat. So it's a shape-shifting or humans with animal traits case. I did not read this one. I like the colors. It's an old one. There were not many titles on the market at that point, so I said, okay, let's go with it. Now I'm more selective because there are too many titles. So Yagi is a rare sort of goat, one who loves reading books just as much as eating them. With his special talent to taste feelings contained upon paper, he's always dreamed of becoming a bookseller. Unfortunately, paper-munching goats aren't exactly welcome in bookstores, even in a world where all different animals live in peaceful coexistence. Eventually, Yagi is able to persuade Okami, the strict wolf manager, so we have this dynamic of wolf and sheep, into giving him a job at his bookshop. But can a goat surrounded by books restrict his natural instincts? We often see goats munching on something. And what about the instincts of a wolf who's been charmed by a sweet and tender goat? What could go wrong in this setup? Let me give you it's 18 plus, so there will be some stronger smut in there. Let me give you a taste of what's inside. Okay, so that's it for this one. I don't know if I can recommend this, although art style it's not too much to my like. It's nothing, you know, bad, but I prefer things a little bit differently. Let me move a little bit my setup because we are pushing through the shelf. Does it pass by a type of cafe or restaurant? Give it a thumbs up if yes. Lol. I don't know. Then we have Puppy Love. I don't remember if I read it. I think I did. It's 16 plus. So what's inside? An abandoned puppy saved from the cold by a kind boy. An exhausted salaryman who finds unexpected respite in the warm smile of a pet store clerk. How do these two stories entwine? So I guess the top character found the dog, then he went to the pet store, and this is where he met the other guy, the bottom one. Work to the bone, again, work to the bone, common theme for Japanese BLs. By his exploitive company, Inukai is at the end of his rope when he happens to pass by a pet shop and befriends Hoshi, a welcoming staff member. Inspired by the adorable puppies and Hoshi's support, Inukai is determined to change jobs and work toward a life where he can have his own dog. But change is hard, and Inukai's dreams are nearly at the standstill when Hoshi's approaches him and declares that he will help because I'm the dog you saved all those years ago. Okay. So let's take a look inside, just to make sure that okay. So very cute first page. We'll see if they will be all be this cute. But yeah, I think I read this one. But also again, long time ago. So this is the dog. So this one falls into adorable troop one. Yeah, I read this one, but again, it was very long time ago. It's an old one, like 5 years ago or even further. Okay, let me see if I can find something else in there. Oh, there's a cutie Pomeranian. I have 2 Chihuahuas. Maybe at some point I will show you all of them. Show you all my, never mind. But yeah, I have 2 Chihuahuas, Cookie and Coco. So if you'll reach 15,000 subscribers, then I will bring them to the live stream. So there's a motivation. Okay, so this is more or less how it looks like. Some jealousy case situation in here with a coworker. So there will be some competition, I guess. Okay, let's move on. So this one is a recommendation from me. Again, I have positive feelings about this one. Servant and Lord. This is an old one. I think I read it. It's a dynamic between butler and the young lord. So again, common theme. Christian has always admired handsome, talented composer Daniel. They shared appreciation for music marked the beginning of a friendship between a willful boy and a sophisticated young man. But when tragedy strikes and circumstances twist around to put Daniel in the service of Christian wealthy family, their bond is tried in an unexpected way. Years ago, the universal language of music drew them together toward one another. Now Christian can only hope it's still enough to bridge the gap between their vastly different lifestyles. I think it was very difficult to acquire this one. It was not available anywhere. So, and you can see I didn't even open them. So you are the first one who sees it inside, and I'm, pushing the spine so hard for all of you. And this is how I read books. Like when I read something, a new one, so I don't fold them entirely. I just, keep it bended a little bit, so it's in a good condition. So this is what's inside. So a little more sensitive images. It's drawn in old art style, and what I mean by that, mangakas like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they went into this style. So when coming back to my holy grails, you can see similarities, or when it comes to older mangas, when it comes to art style. And small spoiler, sneak peek, there will be another Holy Grail live stream. I received a package. I was very excited because I managed to acquire great titles, old titles on Vinted. And after this live stream, another one will be announced, focusing on Holy Grails, part 2. And I will slowly unveil what you can expect on that live stream. But it's very exciting next live stream, at least to me. Then moving to those two, because they are connected. Don't Call Me Daddy, Don't Call Me Dirty. Books are falling down. So it's by the same author. I read both of those. I like them. I would recommend those two. Although they are quite specific, that you have to. Oh, I have some QR code in here. So it's not to everyone's taste, but it was. With Don't Call Me Daddy, it was a situation where those two were friends, and one of them got a wife. She became pregnant and left because she was not happy with him. And then there's a kid who was raised by the top, because he's the top. So main lead and main character is the bottom one. So it's quite often this dynamic where main character is. And what's the difference? Main character is the character from the story. The perspective is being presented from this person point of view. So we see events from this guy point of view, and he's main character. Main lead is the driver who push forward stuff. So this is the guy on the right, and in that case it's bottom and top. So he helps him to raise the kid because they were always very close. The main lead is very clumsy when it comes to that, and main character is, this more sophisticated, mature person. And obviously he is in love, but he's suppressing those feelings, and they start to explore those feelings when they get older. So it's more about mature men in that situation, like 50 plus or 45 plus. So that's what's happening in here. Let me take a look inside before I overshare. Yeah, so as you can see, this is how they look like. So they are not, you know, young, handsome boys, but they're still handsome in a way, but they are mature ones. So this is like when they were younger. As you can see, the main lead is coming back to, oh, so it was a case when he was dating or being married to a woman. She left, and then she left a kid at his doorsteps at some point, and then he comes to main character for help. Yeah, so this is so nothing happens between them until they grow up, and the kid you can see, which is a kid of main lead, is the one in here. So this is the connection, and I think their relationship kicked off, let's say, parents' relationship in that dynamic. So this is the art style when it comes when they were younger. Then let me bring some art style when they are older, to give you a better overview, if this is something what you would enjoy. And there's this bottom guy works at hospital, and one doctor is making advances on him, this one, a young one, and that also stirs up the feelings in main lead. So that's a catalyst. This is the word I have been struggling to pronounce last time, but now I prepared. And I think there's another manga connected to this one because of the doctor guy, or maybe it was explored in depth in the second one. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it's a funny one. It's a lot of bickering between those two and fighting, but it's a funny one. So then don't call me dirty. In this one, I don't remember exactly how they got connected to each other, but I know this one is homeless at some point. Obviously he goes through a metamorphosis. He's a handsome guy, but because of some life situations, he became homeless and gave up on his well-being, let's call it like that. And as you can see, there is the father of the blonde guy, and behind there is, oh, maybe they will connect somehow in here. No, that would be nice if there would be some kind of, you know, like connection to this hand, but there isn't. Maybe there is some other chapter connected to this one, but I don't see it. So in this story, the blonde guy, again, the bottom one, is very forceful, and he's pushing this relationship. They work at a store, the blonde guy, his father's store, and he always comes to buy like this instant soup from the store. Yeah, so that's it from this one. Also funny one. If you want, then check it out. Rosia and champagne. Yes, I have roses and champagne. There it is. I have 2 volumes, but it's Seven Seas Entertainment shelf, which is below. So we will focus on that shelf during another live stream. Let me do some rearrangements so they are not falling on each other. And let me move a little bit because we are moving to Jinx. Jinx is not printed, or is it? No, it's not. It's not in print. 1 second, because my camera lost. Jinx is not printed yet, although I stopped reading Jinx because I had enough of this bullshit and abuse in there. And the third leg, circumstances, so they make their dicks like a size of a third leg, which is unrealistic, but whatever. Anyway, moving on. I think I read this one. What's the title? Cherry My Destiny. It's a cooking one, so they cook. A pastry chef from France is confident about his pastries until he hears word of popular Japanese confectionery nearby. He starts a food war, saying that the owner of the Japanese store doesn't understand the greatness of Western sweets, but he gets in a little over his head. Let me show you what's inside. Cooking Wars, so something like that. There's this popular anime and manga, Cooking Wars, so I guess this one maybe was a little bit inspired by that. So this is the art style. Let's see, where is the other guy? So this is the other guy. Yeah, so that's it for this one. Moving to the next one. Yeah, we'll do half the shelf and that's enough for today because it's a lot to take in at once. So, Would You Like to Be a Family? I read this one. Those two are brothers. So the older brother is raising the younger one. I don't remember why it was like that, but it's a building a family case in this one. It's a very delicate situation, and the main lead, the top one, is very careful, conscious about the situation, while main character at some point push further because otherwise nothing would happen. So, Would You Like to Be a Family? Standoffish and diligent Takemura lives a solitary life and avoids socializing with his co-workers. After getting cruelly rejected and outed in high school, he knows better than to let himself get too close to people. Natsui from sales is his polar opposite. So the top guy, the one in here, so this was the description about him. He was outed before, and Natsui from sales is his polar opposite. So this is the bottom guy with the brother. Polar opposite, chatty, outgoing, and unfazed by Takemura's cold front. When he runs into Natsui and his son at the supermarket, it's not his son, it's his brother. Takemura is surprised to find out that Natsui it's a single, but I think again it's his brother, and then more surprised to be invited to a dinner with no room to decline. Soon, soon he finds himself getting entangled in the inviting warmth of their family life. What are these tender, yearning feelings growing in him as he spends time with Natsuya and Mori? Maybe it's his son. But I think it's his brother. I think it's his sister, son. So he's not even his brother, his nephew. But it's, you know, it's a plot twist, which you have to. Yeah, I think it is like that. I think it is like that. But I'm spoiling you. I'm giving you spoilers. Too many spoilers. So now we understand why main lead is distant and tries to avoid any close relationships because he's afraid. And the son, quote unquote, which I feel is his nephew, is very protective over main character. So it's a cute story where he has to win his trust. So he always tries to impress the main character, his father, let's call it like that, because he knows how much he do for him and so on. So it's a recommendation from my side. I enjoyed it. Moving on, delivery for you. It's an 18+ story, a lot of sexy scenes. I from what I can remember. So it's not very deep story. This delivery guy comes often to bring things, and I think in this package there are toys, and by some coincidence the delivery guy opens them. So this is the plot point which starts things between them. Izumi Fukaya is a shut-in bachelor whose only joy in life is seeing the handsome delivery man who drops off his packages every day. Every time Ryota Tsuchiya arrives with another delivery, the contents of the boxes are only half the excitement. Determined to make himself seem cooler to match Tsuchiya, Fukaya has yet to realize that Tsuchiya already thinks he's the whole package. And they are both about to find out they already have everything they want right in front of them. So that's what's going on between them. Yeah, and let me give you a sneak peek of what's inside. And again, if you have any questions, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share, and I will answer. Yeah, so he missed the delivery. So he's disappointed. Namazon. So he's ordering my BL mangas from the same place I do. Yeah. So this is what's inside. Then maybe we'll jump a little bit. Glass Syndrome. Eriko Ariki. I think this is the one. This is the same author. A mangaka for. Is it? For this one? No, it's not the same, but the art style is similar. Sorry for this earthquake. Yeah, so let's move to those two first. And we will also jump to another series in a moment because we'll be finishing today's stream soon, because it's been quite a long one. But let's do this one. So this one connects to one of the stories which we talked about. It's a 2-volume story. Dekoboko Sugar Days and Dekoboko Bittersweet Days. So in here, the top is the shorter one with a little smaller build, and the bottom one is fluffy, sweet, tall guy in here. And yeah, this dynamic is prominent throughout the whole series. I think the bottom guy wants to make pastry, so at some point he has to leave to France or some other country to study, so there will be some time skip and also build difference, as you can see. The top guy, I think, plays football, but we'll see in a second, and he's, you know, very ripped when it comes to his body. Yeah, so this is the premise of the story. Big recommendation. I really liked it, and I wish there was more. But going into the description, 18 plus. So Yujiro Matsukaze has been close friends with Rui Hanamine since the two of them were children. Back then, Yujiro was the one who stood up and took care of his adorable, soft-hearted friend. So at the beginning, the top guy was bigger and was protecting the other one. So main character, because everything goes from the top guy perspective. So it's the first time, I think, in all of those that the main character is the top, not the bottom. And I explained the difference between main character and main lead. But as it turns out, Yujiro's childhood dreams end up growing a little too big to handle, or rather too tall. As over 6 feet in height, the cute and easygoing Rui towers over his would-be protector and still has no idea Yujiro's had a crush on him since they were kids. And what's also interesting in this one, although the size difference changes, because when they were children, the main character was bigger, but then when they grew up, it reverted. The top-bottom dynamic stayed the same. So still the one which was taller now is smaller will be the top in the story. So in that case, that's something unique, because there are stories where also these positions switch as they grow up. Do you have a comfort series or a favorite one? This would be a comfort series, Dekoboko Sugar Days, unless you are asking about the title, Comfort Days. I don't have Comfort Days a title, I think, but if we talk about cozy, very, sweet story, this is a good example. Dekoboko Sugar Days is a lot of fluff, not many depressing situations happening. What else from Tokyopop would be like that? Very sweet one, although a little more traumatic or emotional, is this one, Never Let Go. So it's a little bit stronger, although the dynamic and love between those two characters is very, not ambitious, but nice for a better word. And the same goes in a comfort story would be this Cover My Scars with Your Kisses. So it's a very sweet story, recovering from a trauma from the past, with green flag top, let's call it like that. And my favorite one from Tokyopop. Oh, this is also an interesting title, Touch Within the Abyss. It's very popular at the moment, and this author is Ignatz Bride is the second title from this author, and I'm waiting for a hardcover edition to purchase it. So this is also comfort story in a sense, although there is a mafia or murder in in the backstory, but it's very tender, if you would like to call it like that. And favorite from all of those, favorite. It would be hard to say. One of the favorites would be Lullaby of the Dawn. That would be one of the favorites. Not my piece of cake. Not piece of cake, but not my... How you say it? Anyway. Not something I would be normally into, especially when it comes to characters design, but the story is very good. Very, 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 very good. So based on the story, this is a big recommendation. I talked about this series on other live stream, but yeah, I will talk about this more in depth during next live for Tokyopop Shelf, because my voice is giving up. I'm also getting a little bit tired because I talk a lot about those series. But do you have any classmate? Yeah, we went through many classmate stories before during this live stream. One of the examples, or maybe not even one of the examples, like 1 second. So this one is an example of classmates. This wonderful season with you, and then going here, then we have replay. This is a classmate situation, baseball team, replay, big recommendation from my side. And I think that would be it when it comes to classmates recommendation. Okay, so that's this one. And now let's take a look at Dekoboko Sugar Days. What's inside of them? Okay, so let's take a look. So the bottom guy with the pink hairs, enjoys sweets. So as you can see, this is how he looked like when he was younger. And now this is how they look like when they are older. So the top guy will grow a little bit in the second series, although there still will be the size difference. I'm glad to hear that. I try to focus on the ones I find really engaging, although everyone have a different taste, so I try not to be too biased. So the first chapter focused a lot around this dynamic when main character, the top guy, is pushing away because it's not meant to be. It's like, because of the size difference and how this is going to work. But then the bottom guy, main lead, is trying to make it work, is trying to get closer, to not give up, even with this size difference situation. By the way, where do you buy manga? I want to buy it Yang Sek dollar. I buy them from here, from here, from Amazon, most of them. So I already started collecting my packages for next live stream unboxing. I have 2 packages till now, but yeah, I purchased most of them on Amazon, and also during live streams with unboxing, I talk about what I pay attention to when it comes to packaging, how I handle those things, and so on. So if you are curious, you can check out other live where I focus on what came in to me. No problem. You're welcome. If you have any other questions, please ask them. Okay, so they went on a date. So that's enough of going deeper into this volume. Then let's take a look. I won't read the description for the second volume because I hope you'll get interested in the story after the first one and you'll just push forward. So this is a little sexy first page. So this is a small recap. Let's say they had their cherry broken after the first, or popped, not broken, popped after the first volume. And now it's growing up pains because university comes in, and as it often goes with some series, next volumes or next chapters in their lives are a little more explicit. So in this volume you can expect more smut when it comes to that, because they figured out their feelings, their dynamic, how this is supposed to work. But the second volume focused a lot on how they are going to handle their future, their dreams, their schools. Oh, this is a very cute one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's it from this one. Again, I'm recommending this one. Hopefully you will also enjoy it as much as I did. Okay, and now we'll move to the last series of the day when it comes to reviewing Tokyopop Shelf, which is actually a Lullaby of the Dawn. And then I will continue with as you can see, I'm already tired because it's a lot to go through all of them, and to give you a quick overview as much as possible, as quickly as possible. So Lullaby of the Dawn, it's a very interesting story. It's I would say BL driven by the story actually, or not by how they look like and how they have fun with each other, but by the plot. So let's start with I want to give it justice this series. So Night After Night, Elva, which is main character, and he is the bottom one. The guy with the white hair. I'm praying for you. Hope you get better. Okay, thank you. So, night after night, Elva steps forth into the Black Sea. Sword in hand, he drives back the creatures that surge from the waves. Elva is one of the Kanagi, warrior priests chosen by the divine to protect the island. With his snow-white hair, an aging youth, and black-stained limbs, proof of the corruption that gradually takes the life of every Kanagi, the local people fear and shun him, at least until his path crosses with that of a boy named Alto. So this is our top guy. And the point of view switches between them throughout the story. So at one moment, Elva is main character, and then it switches to Alto. So, but beginning starts with Elva. And Enraptured by Elva's strength and lonely soul, Alto swears to serve him and free him from his cursed fate. After 8 long years, Alto has grown into a capable and fearless young man, unwavering in his devotion to his Kanagi. Elva had long ago resigned himself to an early death, but somehow Alto's presence seems to be gradually healing him of the Black Sea corruption. So what's this Black Sea? So there is the island, it's surrounded by a sea, and the color of the sea is black. And during the night, some monsters come out of it, made out of water. So monsters in the shape of humans or something similar to humans are crawling out of the sea, and Kanagi, which is Elva, goes with a sword and kills them. Although it's like, fighting with water. And you can see this black stain on his hands. And it spreads over the years. It's bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is like the sea is infecting him or whatever. And this symbol on his forehead, there's a predetermined number of Kanagis on the island. How many of them can be there at a certain point of time, and if one of them dies, then the new one is born or chosen, and it happens automatically, let's call it like that. So it's not like someone chooses them or train them, it's some divine power. And there's a big backstory behind the Black Sea, how it came to be, how those Kanagis are made, or where they come from, or what's their history. So a lot of those information are revealed in volume 4 and 5. So you have to get there, but it's a great story. Really, really, really good story. So let's take a deeper look what's inside. And there's a reason, okay, I won't spoil you more, because I don't want you spoil too much. Again, because it's a great story. I hope you will listen to my recommendation, and based on the art style and what you see, what you heard, you will try to read it. Don't get discouraged at the beginning. Try to push through if it's not to your liking at the beginning, but then the story will suck you in. Okay, so that's when they were, younger, and then this is this time skip when he grows bigger. So you can see how he grew up. So golden retriever top type of story. I read the first volume, and I hope to read next soon. I found it quite original. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool, but those details, the really shocking details, come much later. And at the beginning it can look a little bit silly, although mysterious, nothing, strong, but as you go deeper, be ready for a shock. What can I show you from the second volume? Just as a reference point, you have the second Kanagi in here. Some Kanagis are women, some Kanagis are men, but it's a common theme for them that they are as isolated and miserable. Yeah, so that's the last thing I will show you from the inside when it comes to the story because I don't want to spoil you too much. So this is the end. So this is, I also have a reel with this manga. Is there some beautiful art style at the beginning? No. Okay, so nothing else to show in there. So volume 4. And also what you can see, the difference, small spoiler, you see it's reverted. It's not so big anymore. And then when you look at volume 5, when you compare the fingers, it's even less. Oh, you have to find out how is it happening. What's there? And then quite recently released volume 6, and also he grew a little bit, so he's now bigger from how it used to be. But the drama is in a full swing in volume 6. Okay, my dear people, this is it for today. So we went through quite a lot of Tokyopop mangas today. We'll continue this in another live stream. So this is what we went through today. All of those titles. If you have any questions, this is last chance to ask them, or you want to take a closer look at something, then we can dive deeper. But that's it for the main when it comes to the main agenda. Okay, sorry for the shakiness. And also this is a small sneak peek when it comes to Holy Grails, very quickly. So this is what's waiting. It came from, I think, Sweden. And we will take a deeper look during Holy Grails Part 2 live stream. Okay, there's a giveaway still going on in one of the live streams. You have to find out which one, because I present their mangas which I have for a giveaway. So if you want to win a free manga, free BL, then you have to find it, you have to comment, you have to subscribe, and then at some point there will be a shuffle where one person will win free BL, and I will ship it to you wherever you are. Okay, let's give it 30 seconds for any last questions, and then we will finish. Okay, I don't see any questions. Then I wish you a lovely Saturday. It's a really nice weather at my place. I will go plant some tulips in my garden, because I have been planting some plants, rhododendrons, actually today and yesterday, and I have some tulips and other flower bulbs to plant. Okay, then thank you all for your attendance and see you next time. You're welcome, Vivi1, and thank you for coming. Hope to see you next time. Yeah, bye bye everyone. Let me finish the stream.